Hello and what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we got a brand new brand, brand new knife brand out here making a debut in the channel. They recently just released Wixco Knives. It is a sister brand to Ferramonster. And by the way, Ferramonster just released their Spectrum model right here, which I've been EDCing this thing like crazy. I absolutely love it. Check out the overview unboxing video on it if you haven't already. It is absolutely sweet. Kind of like a premium bug out killer, if you would. But yeah, this is our new budget brand. It looks like we're looking at the Wortex, right? Not the Vortex, but the Wortex with a W. 14C 28N steel, blue Stonewash carbon fiber blue. All right, this should be interesting. Let's go ahead and get in here. Very straightforward packaging with a zipper pouch, it looks like. Silica gel right here and everything. Got the Wixco logo. It's actually a little Velcro patch. Digging that. And it's got this sort of gray camo looking outside. So let's go ahead and get in here and see what we're dealing with. We got a wiping cloth right there, nice and sealed with the Wixco branding. We passionately present high quality knives in a dynamic, youthful style. Join us to explore the alluring beauty of EDC toys. That's an interesting mission statement right there. Let's check out their knife here, see what they're all about here, shall we? I know you guys are just as excited as I am. And here we go, the Wortex from Wixco Knives, right? First impressions, kind of thought it would be maybe another ½ inch or quarter inch larger. It's definitely a little bit on the, medium side, if you would. We have this, what in the world do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? This is some sort of carbon fiber going on here with the blue accents. That's looking pretty dope right there. Take a look at that. Holy macaroni. We do have the back spacer right here working as the lanyard solution. And I am going to get my magnet of truth, so that is stainless steel. Back spacer right there. This is a budget EDC knife after all. We are getting big hardware right there, T8 all around, except I think maybe the pocket clip is T6. Captive pivot is their logo with a T8 on the other side. But yeah, that carbon fiber is definitely looking really good. We do have kind of like an opening hole thumb stud situation here, a dual, a 2-for-1. So that's going to be interesting right there. And we do have a deep pocket carry clip, which is also reversible to the other side. So here we go. Without further ado, bam. Oh man, listen, I was not expecting this blade geometry at all. But now that I think about it, I had already seen some pictures. I did post on the community, channel community tab here, made a post on these knives. And by the way, you can get them 10% off with the discount code Miguel EDC. That gets you 10% off. And of course, I'll have them all linked down below. So make sure to let you guys know as soon as possible when these release. But that is crazy. Now, if you give me a sheep's foot blade, I'm happy. If you give me a flat grind with a little bit of a recurve sheep's foot blade or a reverse tant or whatever you want to call it, right? I am happy as well. That is definitely pretty savage looking. I recently had the Shark by Design Derecho here in the channel, and that was truly epic. And this kind of reminds me a little bit of that, and just in the recurve aspect of it. So yeah, looking really nice right here. Very utilitarian friendly, great for utility cuts and draw cuts using that pokey tip right there. That's going to come handy, of course. I mean, overall, great geometry for EDC, right? It is going to be a liner lock here, so let's check out our lock up right there. That's looking maybe like 40-ish, 50-ish%. You guys be the judge, right? That's a better angle. There's your D10 ball right there. And we do have access from the show side to that liner lock. And it's kind of, let's see here. Yeah, very easy to push to the left right there and disengage. Oh yeah, that feels really nice. Pretty well tuned there. Now, is it going to be, it's a little bit of a shake shutter right there. You do have to overcome the detent, Miguel. Come on now. Has a little bit of a late detent. But yeah, shake shutter right there. Bam. Oh, there you go. Now, reverse flick. Oh man, that feels good. Again, I got to overcome the detent before I can shake shut it. Reverse flick off of the nail of my middle finger. That's feeling pretty good. I'm using the thumb stud like that. So that's looking good. Thumb stud deployment, of course. That feels nice. And then can I actually deploy off of the hole? You're probably wondering. It is possible though, but I do find that in order to get in this position, got my index finger here. And as I fire it, there you go. It worked that time. The first time it actually got caught on my, the thumb stud got caught on my index finger, like you saw. So just like that, right? So you do have to, if you're going to use the actual hole to deploy in that reverse flick, then you do have to make sure you can clear your index finger on the open like that. Otherwise, I mean, it works out perfect here for using the nail of the middle finger. So I would do that. So let's see here, ergos, right? What do we got going on? So it is, like I said, a medium knife. We'll do some size comparisons here in a moment, but I'm able to get a full grip with my average size hands. Again, not the biggest of hands or smallest of hands, but yeah, full purchase here, right? Making good use of that entire handle, right? As you can see, let's say not necessarily a finger choil. That's kind of tiny right there to even consider that a finger choil. So I wouldn't call it that. If it was a little bit bigger, maybe it could accommodate the index finger there just a tad bit better. And I gotta tell you, if this, you know, the only thing I pictured, you know, I saw the pictures of this knife and I thought it would be maybe like 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch larger. And, you know, it's just, you know, a little bit of a smaller EDC size, which again, not a bad thing at all. It's actually pretty lightweight with all the carbon fiber, by the way. We do have recessed liners in here, right? Milled for weight reduction. So check that out. Actually feels really good on hand. But again, you know, sometimes when it's a brand new knife release and you haven't seen it in person and you see pictures online, right, kind of leads you to believe that it could be a larger knife, or we all sort of make a picture in our head. And then obviously I'm checking it out here in person. It's, you know, just a tad bit smaller than I thought, but it definitely feels the hand really nice. It's comfortable. Even the deep pocket carry clip feels good, right? I give it a good 8.5, 9 out of 10 right there. And it is reversible for my lefties out there. So there you go. Nice to see a, again, liner lock knife with a reversible pocket clip. There are companies out there these days don't even bother doing reversible pocket clips if it's not an MB friendly locking mechanism like a button lock or a crossbar lock, and they just bypass lefties altogether. But you know, it's a no-brainer on a budget knife, right? You include the entire population instead of, you know, leaving lefties in the dark. So feels good, right? Good ergos, good deployment right there, right? Nice shake shutter after you overcome the D10, by the way. Check out the tuning on the D10 there. I want to say borderline, a little bit of D10 lash, maybe not. Let's just go ahead and see what this thing is capable of. Again, 14C 28N steel. All right, that's feeling pretty good. Again, recurve on this guy. Let's get the 5x zoom for some extra scientific points. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, if I've learned anything from Neve's Knives, right, watching his content all these years, is that this recurve geometry right here is definitely going to trap material really nicely. So it's definitely going to make sure that whatever's cutting is kind of guiding the material more and more into the blade, as compared to, say, anything like a drop point blade where you could actually taper off at a certain point. So here, right, you have this recurve. It's going to trap material. It's going to perform in that sense just a tad bit better, right? Making sure you don't taper off as much during the cut. That is one of the advantages of the recurve. Maybe a disadvantage, if you want to look at it that way, is when it comes time to sharpening this guy, right? There's actually a curve instead of a straight line. So that's a little bit more challenging come sharpening time. But I got a piece of cardboard here, average single wall piece of cardboard, right? Remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular, but at an angle. And so it's going to look something like this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, flat grind. Imagine if this thing had a hollow grind. But the blade is actually not that tall, actually pretty narrow, and not that thick either. So definitely a slicer here, as you can see. Oh yeah, it can cut. I mean, there's no surprises there. It absolutely certainly can cut. You guys rate this thing in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10, right? How sharp is it? Rate that cutting performance. 10 being the, keep forgetting that the D10 is a little bit right here. This is where you overcome the D10 right there. So once you overcome the D10, then you can shake shut it. But yeah, guys, let me know. 10 being the sharpest, right? Let me know in the comments. We have a model coming in at $67. This one's going to be, I believe, the G10 model right there. So where's that? G10 or is it micarta? Wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah, we got black micarta on this one. It tricked me for a second until I clicked on it. So black micarta with the whole blacked out aesthetics going on. That one goes for $67. And then you can get the under $100, $97 carbon fiber. You can again get this particular one here, which we looked at with the blue. I personally think this one pops really nicely with that blue right there. Or there's a blacked out version as well. So if you're into that, right, this one got the black carbon fiber going on there. right? That looks really good. It's kind of like a shredded carbon fiber, right? It's got, you know, no specific pattern. It's very, you know, unique in that sense. So that looks pretty neat right there. So overall length is 7.1 inches. Weight is 2.38 ounces or 67.5 grams. Close length is 4 inches. And the blade length is 3.1 inches. So that is your stats right there. 14C, 28N steel, like we mentioned earlier. And we have 58 to 60 HRC on that. They do have some other amazing models as well. They have the Drax right there. That looks, again, both, you know, more budget-friendly versions around $60-ish dollars, more premium versions around $90-something dollars, $80-something dollars. The Ragnar, that looks pretty dope as well. The Axor or Axer, Skort, the Pexton, all right, that's interesting, and the Wortex. So very interesting model names, and again, I'm glad they thought of something unique, not like the FT105 or SW123, right? Some letter or letter number combination. So that's interesting, and again, I'll have the whole website linked down below, and you want to use code Miguel EDC for 10% off, guys. So go ahead and do some quick size comparisons to give you a ballpark where this guy lands. Here is the Glide Man, which we looked at here in the channel as well, from the sister brand Ferramonster. And here is that Spectrum I was raving about at the beginning, right? That's going to be a slightly larger knife. You can sort of see, right, what I'm talking about. Again, 7.1 inches overall on the Wortex. Next, let's do some of the typical ones here on the channel. There is your PM2 and Para3. Right, take a look at those. So it's definitely a little bit shorter than the Para3, as you can see. Here's the Demko AD 20.5. It's a little bit larger. The Kunwu Chad is also a tad bit larger there. All right, you guys be the judge. Kizer Militaw right there, and the Shard, Tenable Shard. Those are going to be slightly larger knives. Again, this guy is somewhere in the medium category. Not too small to be a small, not too large to be a large. So let's go medium. And last but not least, here's the Fintiso Parrot, right, just a tad bit larger. And here's the CJRB Pyrite Light, also a tad bit larger as well. Hopefully you own some of these knives, so I'll give you more or less a ballpark where this one lands. And of course, these will all be linked down below, so you guys can check those prices, availability, and variants if you're interested. So let me know your thoughts on this one. What do you like about it? What do you love about it? Is there anything you dislike about it, right? Let's hang out in the comment section down below. We'll definitely love to hear your thoughts. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.